When is the last time you were touched by an incredible animal story? For us, it happens just about every minute of every week on America's Best Tales.
We'll hear 3 more touching stories today and then decide how we can reward their favorite animal rescue organization. America's Best Tales starts now.
Hi everyone, welcome to America's Best Tales. I'm Arthur E. Benjamin, here with Farrah White, and Bandit showing off his best tale.
He is showing his best tale. Each week we bring you 3 animal rescue stories and then decide on which story touched us the most.
It sounds simple. It's honestly very difficult. These animals have been through so much in their lives, and we hope in some small way to help these animals and these organizations. Our rescue stories are not just about dogs. We've seen horses that can change a person's life. We love doing what we are for these organizations, and we hope you do too.
Let's remind everyone how this works. We hear 3 stories, and then we decide a first, second, and third place winner. Each contestant wins money toward their favorite animal rescue organization. So everybody wins. Should we get started?
I think before we get started and talk about our contestants today, I think we should mention the December 18th event in New York.
You know what, we absolutely should. Because American Dog Rescue is actually matching dollar for dollar of everything donated on December 18th.
And it's really between now and December 18th that you can help. Go to AmericanDogRescue.org. Donate whatever you can, and we'll see that money gets matched and given to the rescue team of the Humane Society of the United States. And we're running this ad around the country to support this effort. We're hoping that it'll be a lot of money.
Yeah, that's incredible. So it's actually an entire month. We have an entire month to collect donations, and then you will match it. American Dog Rescue.
We started last week, and it runs right up till December 17th. And whatever we have, plus money we've set aside for this, will be matched that evening with me raising the money from the audience there, which will include Mayor Bloomberg in New York, the Hearst family, and a lot of people who can step up and match these dollars. And we're hoping that it'll be a large sum, so help us out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an incredible thing that American Dog Rescue is doing. So thank you for doing that.
Our first contestant today is Abby Saylor. Abby is a puppy mill mom who spent most of her life producing litters. She secretly bought at an auction for $1. And then Sandy Saylor found Abby, and the story started.
Yes, but sadly, Abby is no longer with us. But her mom, Sandy, and Sandy's new dog, Sweetie, are here to tell us their story. Joining her is Kristana from EARS, the organization that Abby is playing for. Well, welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Delighted to be here.
Thanks for being here, and this is a very touching story. You know, to have 2 dogs that are this amazing, the one you're going to talk about, who's the contestant today, and love to hear about it, and that amazing mop. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
That dude.
She is Sweetie.
She's rocking that
That's her name,
fierce
Sweetie.
hairdo, Sweetie. She is a sweetie. Well, Kristana, tell us how you came into contact with this amazing dog and this amazing story. It was $1?
Well, Sandy can tell you more about
my dog.
Abby. And go ahead, Sandy.
Well, Abby, I bought this picture. I love this picture because she is so happy. We had lost another skipper key, Paul, and this was Julie. So we wanted a companion dog. And I looked on Pet Finder. And we wanted a senior dog because Julie was senior. And I found this dog. She was out of state, and when I called the rescue group and I heard her story that they go under, this group has a shelter, but they go undercover to auctions where they have puppy mill auctions where they auction off dogs that are they don't want anymore. Maybe the mother's too old to produce puppies, or they have deformed puppies that are born that they can't sell to stores. And so they auction them off to other people because They said, well, they can still breed the defective puppies, but they are out in the country, and they usually have a brokers who get these dogs from various puppy mills. And I was told if they go undercover, because if they knew who they were, that they were buying the dogs to put them up for adoption, they would move their location. They don't want people to know what's going on. So she was a puppy mill mother, breeder dog, and she was in extremely bad shape. Her photo on Pet Finder, she was very sad. And once I heard her story, my husband and I said, we've got to go get her, whatever it takes. And she was out of state. He flew out of state. They met him at the airport. And even though they did home visits on their dogs, talking with us and knowing we had experience with dogs and skipper keys, they didn't do a home check. They said, no, we know she'll go to a good home. She's an older dog, and if you want her, we'll meet you at the airport. And we didn't think we would have her very long. She had chronic problems and was on medication her whole life. We thought she wouldn't live very long. But with the help of our veterinarian, who we love, Dr. Kathleen Soner, she lived 7 years. And we just lost her in August. We had to put her to sleep. She was going into kidney failure and not eating. And that was the humane thing to do.
Yeah.
But the happy part of this is when we adopted her, she was so fearful of people. We had to rehab her. She would snap at us, and we knew it was out of fear. She turned out to be the sweetest dog. We bought a dog stroller because she felt secure in a stroller, protected. And we would take her to the mall all the time. And the mall walkers, she developed a fan club. And then she was actually our first rescue dog. And we decided after having Abby, or when we got Abby, we were just going to rescue senior dogs or dogs with special needs. And so before she passed away, we had lost Abby first. Actually, can I stop a minute? I wanted to show you at the auction, this was around her neck, number 88. She was the 88th dog. They held her up by the scruff of her neck, they said, and said, she's got more puppies in her. And she was sold for $1 to the undercover rescue group, $1. But anyway, the happy part is that we started taking her in the dog buggy, and then after we lost Julie, we got this little gal from Ears. She's special needs. Her front legs are deformed. Her heart is very enlarged, and she won't live very long. And she has back leg problems, but she's just as sweet as can be. So every morning my husband and I we're both retired, to the mall. We have coffee, and the dogs stay in the buggy, and everybody knows us there. They have their fan club of mall walkers, and even the mall manager comes by and says hello. And they've given so much joy, not only to us, but to people who've stopped by and said, we love seeing you here. You've given us so much joy.
And especially the elderly people you've mentioned.
The elderly who no longer have dogs.
So, Kristana, this happens a lot, way too much, right?
It does. And unfortunately, there's a huge lack of knowledge in the community about puppy mills, about backyard breeding. I mean, Canton is a prime example. One of my pets came from Canton when they can't sell the animals that are sold in the animal alley, or they have a medical problem, they just dump them. And so it's an educational issue where we really need to be speaking to the youth groups. We need to be speaking to adults to let them know, don't buy from pet stores. Buy from, either a very reputable breeder,
right,
or through a rescue group, which is our preference, of course.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned, Abby's playing for EARS, Education and Animal Rescue Society. Learn more about EARS online at earstexas.org.
Thanks for sharing Abby's story. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to meet Amy from Great Danes Rescue. And so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to America's Best Tales. Next up is Amy. Amy was found by Great Danes Rescue North Texas. She was also rescued from a puppy mill situation. She was in decent health but had emotional and behavioral trauma. Stacy Everett initially took Amy in as a foster, but then decided to keep her.
Stacy and Amy are both here today, along with Kim Malakon. Melanson, sorry.
Okay, that's all
From
right.
Great Danes Rescue North Texas.
Great Dane Rescue North Texas.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Kim, tell us more about Amy's past.
Well, Amy, like a lot of dogs in a hoarding or breeding situation, her whole purpose in life was to breed. And she never knew human contact. She never knew the inside of a home. She never knew kindness. They were fed, but they were fed a diet mostly of stale and leftover bread and bakery items. So she looked fat and healthy, but nutritionally she was had a severe deficit nutritionally, and emotionally she was locked down. They had to carry her out. She was so fearful.
And you didn't expect her adopter, did you?
No, I did not. She came into me as a foster. They needed kind of a little bit of a calming household, which I do have, because I do have older dogs, and I have a mix of dogs. So they were just kind of needing her to come in, let's get her calm, let's evaluate her, let's see what can happen from here. Let's see if she is adoptable. So we kind of worked with her, and when I went to initially go pick her up from the transporter, we had to pull her out of the crate. For probably about, I'd say almost 2 months, it was always a pull out of the crate situation with Amy to get her to go out to, you know, potty, to go out and get a little bit of a walk going. It was a complete shutdown. We're talking a dog who, they're putting it like it was post-traumatic syndrome. This dog would come crawling out low to the ground. We had her in the house maybe a day or two, and we were kind of getting into her, you know, encouraging her, and we were having to pull her out. And the ceiling fans are rolling, and she's just ducking, and we're like, what? Oh my, it's the ceiling fan.
Oh.
So ceiling fans had to, you know, shut down. It's like everything just had to be just nothing moving. It was just crazy.
And now, so you fostered her for how long?
I fostered her for almost 2 years.
So you didn't expect to adopt her?
I was not expecting to adopt her. She'd been matched up several times, because, you know, she's a fabulous dog. Other than, you know, having to try to get through the socialization, the fear issue, that was the only, you know, if you want to say, bad ticks against her. So we knew it was going to take a special adopter. So we, you know, she'd been matched, and we'd go along, and, you know, you get excited because you're thinking, you know, she's going to go to a good home. You know, somebody's really going to take care of this gal because she deserves it. And you get there, and sometimes you're matched with another dog. Well, you know, after time number 3 of the other dog in your heart winning, you're thinking, I don't know now. I really don't know. What else can I do? And I'd actually gone back, you know, to the board and said, you know, I don't know if we're going to be able to get her past, you know, being comfortable in just my house. You know, what can we do? And, you know, we had called in a behaviorist, and she came in, and we were working on positive reinforcement clicker training, and it was even sadder because you get that reinforcement clicker, you know, really working, you know, and she was scared of the clicker noise.
Oh, no.
Oh, and we're talking, you know, you'd make that little gentle click, and this dog was just going, I mean, like spread out eagle on the floor, and just shake, and so then we were like, okay, plan B. So then we started, every time she made a contact with us, or anytime she came out of the crate on her own, because we were just leaving the door open, we threw her a cookie.
Oh.
And that was even crazier because, you know, I have a house full of, you know, other Danes. And we were all having to put Danes against the wall or out, you know, because we were trying to let Amy, you know, become a dog. And so after she was feeling good and she was coming out, and she's coming out of that crate on her own, and we were just leaving her out. And it got to where you could see some glimmer of play. amongst, you know, the little poodle that we have. She loves the poodle, poodle loves him. We had fostered some little kittens for about a week. And let me tell you, this dog was used as a breeding dog, and you can tell solely as a breeding dog. She has the motherly instincts of just taking in anything. She mothered these little kittens, and they were just days old. She was rolling and licking them. She was putting them under her. It was just like, that's where these cats hung, was with, you know, Mama Amy. And then about a year and a half ago, we had lost our first Dane to cancer. And they had been together. So probably about the last month, when things were kind of, you know, escalating downhill fast, she reached out to him, and she was just the mother to him. She guarded him. No one else could get up on that bed. He got up, she had to go out. He came in, and, you know, she came in. It's like she just was guiding him on, helping him, comfort him. And the day came, and we all knew it was time to cross. And we came back, and, you know, we came back with no husband, as we put it.
Yeah.
And this dog mourned, and mourned for about I'd say probably about 2 or 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So it's just crazy what she really can do out of the situation she came. Now, is she ever going to be the dog that's going to run up to you and just be all over you, just anybody that comes through your door? I don't know. Yeah. But you know what? Every day it gets better with this gal.
How neat.
Well, that was such a great story. It sounds like someone especially from an animal that needs so much emotional support, to actually being an animal, that's all she really knows how to do is give that emotional support.
And she does, and she just gives and gives and gives. So she has a lot of things with her, but you know what? She is what she is.
Wow, she's a sweetheart.
And she's beautiful. And thank you for bringing her here. We appreciate her being here. Amy's here on behalf of Great Dane Rescue of North Texas. Learn more about danerescue.net so you can check them out.
And coming up is the story of Coco. So stay with us.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Today our third contestant is Coco Chanel, as obviously the Coco one. She was found near Dallas Love Field Airport just after giving birth to a litter of puppies. There's a lot more to Coco's story.
And here to fill us in is Erica and Elaine Munch with the Metroplex Animal Coalition. Welcome, you guys. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so let's start with Coco. How was she found?
A friend of mine and I were working rescue in a neighborhood near Love Field, as Arthur said, and so a family reported that this dog was living next door in an abandoned home, and it had puppies, and so we went out to try to find her. And she hid from us and led us on a merry chase for quite some time until we were able to catch her. But she apparently had never had a home. She was very scared, very shy. She lived on the street and cherished her freedom because she really didn't want us to, to get near her and catch her. And one of my favorite memories from that time, though it was a difficult time, was she would hide in a big pile of brown leaves because it was the late fall, like right about now. And we'd walk around looking for her to feed her and try to befriend her and catch her. And one time she jumped up from the pile of leaves and scared us both practically to death and then ran off. And being a border collie, there's no way we were going to catch her.
No, and she's a full-blooded border collie.
Yes, she
and
is.
It's hard to imagine her never having a home.
She may have, someone got her as a puppy and didn't take care of her, didn't keep her in the yard or in the house, and she got out and looking around as border collies will do, and maybe got lost, or who knows? You never know what the stories are about this.
Where did they find her puppies?
We never did locate them. We looked and looked for them, and no one in the neighborhood ever had seen them again after they called us, so we don't know what happened. We hope that maybe they gave them away to
Maybe
neighbors
someone
or
got
something.
them.
But
Yeah.
you just never know. It happens quite a lot.
Now, Erica, when did you first meet Coco?
I met her on the Border Collie Rescue website. because I had gotten Joey from them. And so I just used to look. I think every Sunday they posted new pictures, and I saw her, and I thought, that looks just like Joey, but chocolate.
But chocolate.
Yeah. So I put in an application to adopt her.
Wow, she's beautiful.
Thanks.
And tell us about Joey.
Joey's also a rescue. He was from Border Collie Rescue, came out of a shelter. I drove up to Fort Worth and met him, and then took him home a week later.
How do they get along?
They get along great because Joey is Mr. Personality. Coco is shy, so she follows his lead, and it works out really well. And then they're friends for each other around the house, so good company.
The thing I think is amazing about the story is that it's not the saddest rescue I've ever done or the most difficult, but to see this very scared, withdrawn, sweet little dog now learning from this other wonderful, secure dog. You know, as they say, the little child shall lead, well, sometimes the other dog leads. And I don't think Coco would be as happy, and I think Erica agrees, unless she'd had Joey as a pal who could teach her.
Oh my gosh, I love that photo. That's wonderful.
So how has Coco really changed your life?
She is just, I mean, she's fun. You know, I think I'm a serious person by nature, and I think that they're just so fun and funny, and they keep me super active because they're Border Collies, and I'm glad I got a second one. I was afraid because of all the exercise, but 2 is good.
Yeah. What types of things do they like to do?
Well, we take a huge long walk every morning, like 2 or 3 miles, and I always take a photo and I post it on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
And it's fun because we met people from all over the world who look forward to their morning walk photo.
Yeah. Me, I'm one of them.
Yeah. To see where they are.
Yeah.
So do they have their own Instagram?
Well, it's become them. You know, I did
Yeah.
it, but you know, everyone liked the dog photo so much, so it's really them. And I think I've been doing it for like 500 days so far.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed to get a smile when you get a picture of Joey and Coco. You can be having your worst day, but then I'll see a picture of them, and I always smile.
Well, they pose on rocks and statues and go swimming, so it's a fun little project.
Now, how many animals do you think you guys rescue a year?
Me personally, or just
To
with
the organization?
well, Metroplex Animal Coalition doesn't really do that. We have our spay-neuter program for low-income families, but
Right.
most of us do rescue. I would say
Yeah.
that between all of the member groups, it's got to be probably 1,000 or 1,500 between all of the groups and the members of those groups. I mean, you see them everywhere, and people, even though you're not a rescue group, people will call you because they know you're an animal lover.
Right.
And of course, none of us, as we're driving down the street or anywhere, see a stray animal or an animal in need. None of us are going to turn our backs. So we band together in groups and go out, as my friend and I did, and find an animal or get a report, like a dog like Coco. And we try to find a foster for it, or foster it ourselves, or work it into a good shelter where it will be able to find a good home. And I just really enjoyed fostering Coco. She was so calm and so quiet that I thought maybe all Border Collies were like that, but soon realized that that's not exactly the case. I'd had one previously, but she was very shy and withdrawn, and I just really credit Erica and Coco with the walks and the discipline and all the love and the training that she's given her that's turned her into the wonderful dog she is.
Amazing how dogs can just survive in the street, but how much happier they are once they have people.
I know she was afraid to give up her independence, that freedom is all she knew, and she was, at first very, very quiet and shy, as most dogs are when they go into a rescue home. But once she learned what a wonderful home is like, I'm sure now, every morning, if she could tell us, I'm sure she's grateful that she has the life she has.
And she pretty much is a stay-at-home now. She doesn't try to run or go back to the street if you let her.
If she gets out, she goes and sits on the front porch, kind of like, I think you forgot me.
That's great.
Yeah, she wouldn't. I don't think she would run away.
Yeah.
Well, they are 2 absolutely gorgeous dogs.
Thank you.
And I love that they're both rescues. It's
And
a
they're
wonderful
both
story.
just beautiful examples of this breed.
Absolutely.
And if people are interested in Border Collies, bcrescuetexas.org is the website, and both of these dogs were listed there, and they always need fosters, so if you can't adopt one, you can always foster one.
That's great.
Wow, that's a good way to get to know a dog. Well, as we mentioned, Elaine is with Metroplex Animal Coalition. Find out more online about this organization at metroplexanimalcoalition.com.
And we're going to come right back to the moment of truth when we'll select today's best tale. So stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back again to America's Best Tales, ladies. Now it's time to select the story that moved us most. And I have to tell you, this was a hard one. We conferred with the little oracle here, and he was confused. He said, you know, it's sort of like Simon. He said, you do it. So we went back and forth, and let's recap.
Yes. So our first story was Abby, the puppy mill mom who found a home here in North Texas. Second story was Amy, found by Great Dane Rescue. And our third story was Coco, the new mother found by Dallas Lovefield.
And our third prize winner gets $250 and recognition as being as incredible a story as the other two, but you gotta choose. So.
You gotta choose, you gotta choose.
And third place is, drum roll please.
Drum roll please.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Third place is going to be Coco Chanel.
Yay.
Because she's already
Little
so clever
Coco.
and beautiful. And we'll see if she wants a little. You want a little sprinkle prize, Coco?
Not,
What
not
about
gonna
this one?
take-
Do you want that one instead? No, I'll just leave it there just in case.
Yeah.
All right. Change your mind.
And our second place, which means $500
Yes,
going to the
$500.
rescue, is drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's going to go to your sweet baby that's no
And
longer
we-
here with us.
And we miss her.
Yes,
and,
we're very sorry.
The story was incredibly moving. Moved me to tears as I read the story.
Yes.
And first place, and to a job well done and an incredible. Let's see if Amy will do it. Amy did it! Oh. Yeah, she did. it.
I'm gonna think about it.
Almost.
So,
Good girl.
we loved hearing all of these animal rescue stories today. Thanks to all of you and to all of our other contestants. This has been a great run of great animal stories that have moved us tremendously. Find out more about us at dogrescue.org. And I'm Arthur E. Benjamin with Farrah White, and we'll see you next time while we try to get Amy to take another cookie with me. Yes, you will. No, you won't. All right. See you next week.